Right now, the race for the White House comes to an end. What Vice President Kamala Harris had to say today after conceding.
Plus, passing budget referendum questions, local residents being impacted by levy increases.
And studying concussions in law enforcement. Now, researchers are looking to prevent injuries in the line of duty. It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 10. The long and complicated presidential transition now begins after President-elect Donald Trump swept every battleground state that has now been decided.
Bradley Blackburn has more as the countdown to January 20th begins.
In her concession speech, Vice President Kamala Harris said she would help with a peaceful transition of power to President-elect Donald Trump.
While I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign.
Earlier Wednesday, Harris spoke with Trump on the phone, congratulating the former president for his resounding Election Day victory.
A fundamental principle of American democracy is that when we lose an election, we accept the results.
The battleground state of Wisconsin put Trump above the 270 electoral votes needed to clinch the presidency. The president-elect won the popular vote for the first time in his 3 White House bids, starting in 2016.
America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate.
In his victory speech early Wednesday, Trump vowed to bring change.
We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. And we made history for a reason tonight.
Trump campaign officials tell CBS News they plan to start holding transition meetings immediately here in Florida, so they're ready to take office on January 20th. Trump has said beginning on day 1, he will begin the mass deportation of people living in the U.S. illegally. He also says he will end the wars in Ukraine and Gaza.
They said he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars.
And the president-elect says he wants to impose a tariff of 10 to 20% on all goods not made in America. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin will return to Washington for another term as Wisconsin's U.S. Senator. The Associated Press called the closely watched race this afternoon. Baldwin winning by only 30,000 votes. That's within the margins that allow for a recount under Wisconsin law. But Eric Hovde would have to pay for that recount if he decides to ask for it. Here's Wisconsin GOP Chairman Brian Schimming on that possibility.
You know, we'll spend some time with the Hovde campaign and with our staff, our election integrity staff and others, looking at that issue and see it is a very, very close race. There's no doubt about that. And so we'll take a look at that issue, but I just don't have anything definitive to say now.
Important context here. Historically, recounts have not typically changed the outcome of elections.
Well, Republicans are feeling increasingly confident about holding on to the U.S. House of Representatives. And with the White House and Senate now in GOP control, that would give Republicans control over the executive and legislative branches. Dozens of key House races remain uncalled, and it could be days or weeks before the results are official. Still, House Republicans and Democrats alike privately believe the GOP will maintain control. And here in Wisconsin, Republicans emerged from election night with their majority in the state Senate intact. They are poised to maintain their edge in the Assembly despite the new boundaries drawn by Democrats, which hope to give them a majority of both chambers. But Republicans in the Assembly currently have 54 seats. That's compared to their previous 64 to 35 edge. The Assembly Speaker Robin Vos downplayed any potential Democratic gains earlier today.
The only way the Democrats picked up seats was by having a map that was clearly gerrymandered to give them a result. We were able to win maps drawn by a federal court, a state court, by the legislature, and by the Democrats. So we have won under every scenario that's possible. Democrats have only made gains when they have gerrymandered districts, which are very hard for anybody to win.
On the state Senate side, the Republican advantage has narrowed from 22-11 to 18-13 for now, erasing the GOP's supermajority within that chamber.
We'll stay dry for the next couple of days, maybe even see the sun, too.
Blaze on the patio with more on the chilly temperatures, though, that are ahead, Blaze.
That's right. We're heading into the 30s tonight. Pretty seasonal, just staying maybe a degree or two above average. The cloud cover likely to thank for those warmer temperatures tonight. But we are anticipating more sunshine as we head into not only your Thursday, but Friday as well. In fact, we might actually see a little bit more sunshine than earlier anticipated for your Thursday, and that continues into Friday. Temperatures across southern Wisconsin beginning to slip into into those mid to upper 30s around Necedah and Fenimore. Boaz at 38, Sullivan at 46. Same with those of us in Dane County. Beloit, we are sitting at 46 as well. Hughesford at 45. So let's jump ahead to Saturday, because that's when our first chance for rain moves on in the extended forecast. You're seeing it there overnight into Sunday. Probably the best chance for more of us to see that light rain as it wraps up throughout the day on Sunday. We'll be left with an additional maybe 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch at best. This first round is not going to be a heavy soaking rain like what we saw these last few days from the 3rd through the 5th, but just enough to maybe bump up our totals there closer to that maybe 1.5 inch mark for the month so far. Here's a look at your temperatures for this evening. We are going to track out some more rain and maybe even some snowflakes in the full forecast.
Blaze, thank you. The communities of Fitchburg, Madison, and Monona all asked voters to approve a levy increase on the ballot last night. Fitchburg voters blocked a $3.6 million tax levy increase. It would have cost the average homeowner an additional $25 a month. Monona residents approved a roughly $3 million referendum. It'll increase taxes for the median value home by $713 a year. And Madison voters approved the city referendum, the $22 million budget referendum. The approval means the average Madisonian will see a $230 a year increase on property taxes, and that's on top of the $83 state allowed levy limit.
I'm absolutely committed to doing the work with the state legislature to find a solution, not just for Madison, but for cities all across the state of Wisconsin who need the legislature to invest in them.
Both Madison and Monona will now work to approve the final budget to see where those additional funds will go.
Voters approved 2 referendum questions in the Madison School District by large margins. Board members at MMSD say the approval will go a long way. The $607 million will go towards staff pay, maintaining small class sizes, and renovating older buildings. The money is set to make the district more accommodating for everyone. MMSD Board President Nichelle Nichols and Superintendent Dr. Joe Gothard have released a joint statement. They say more work needs to be done. Quote, although the referenda have passed, it's important for the community to know that we are still operating with a structural deficit. Our revenues are not keeping up with our costs. The statement goes on to read, our team will come together and engage with the community to determine how to move forward and plan for the future.
7 states voted to cement reproductive rights into their state constitutions. Measures to protect abortion access in Arizona, Colorado, New York, Maryland, Missouri, Montana, and Nevada are projected to pass. Meanwhile, abortion measures in Florida and South Dakota failed. Florida's 6-week ban will remain in place, and South Dakota will keep its law banning abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest. It's National Diabetes Month. Experts say millions of people who have it are undiagnosed. Doctors say early detection and intervention is critical to slow or even prevent diabetes progression. Signs to watch out for are increased thirst and urination, sluggishness, general malaise, or simply not feeling like yourself. Doctors say you can reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes by having a healthy diet, cutting out simple sugars, and exercising regularly.
Demand for those popular weight loss drugs is so high, people are turning to cheap generic alternatives. A report by Reuters found many people can't get insurance to cover the popular weight loss drugs, which can cost $1,000 a month. Supply chain issues are also causing shortages. More Americans are going online to find generic substitute drugs, and while they're cheaper, little is known about their efficacy or safety.
And the stomach apparently plays a big role in how our bodies manage stress. A study at the University College Cork found microbes in the gut are critical for the stress-responding portion of the brain. Researchers say the findings may help lead to better stress treatments in the future.
Well, here's a question. Could one more year of school improve your brain's health? Researchers say the answer is no. A study in the UK found no difference in brain scans between people who had 15 years of education versus people who had 16 years. However, people who have more education tend to be healthier in general. And researchers say education does not protect the brain against aging.
When you think of people who suffer concussions, athletes probably come to mind. But a new study is putting the spotlight on an overlooked population for concussion surveillance. A study by the Ohio State University's Wexner Medical Center found that out of 381 personnel polled in central Ohio, 74% reported a history of 1 or more head injuries. For nearly a third, it happened on the job, and those with injuries reported more PTSD and depression symptoms.
I think one of the things that we're hoping this survey will do is increase awareness among law enforcement officers and the public more broadly regarding head injuries outside of the sporting context.
Researchers hope their findings will lead to better outcomes for officers, not only in their careers, but also when they reach retirement.
We're entering the end of the year, meaning that we could see an increase in respiratory illnesses. Doctors at SSM Health say now is a good time to get your child protected against this season's COVID and flu. In the latest report from Public Health Madison, Dane County, flu and COVID are at low levels right now, but doctors say you can never be too safe.
I think it's really important because in the end, the one thing we can do when you do get vaccines is make it so that the illness is not as bad if they do get it. I mean, kids still have to get hospitalized sometimes for things like flu and COVID. And the best thing to do, the best way to avoid that kind of stuff is by getting your vaccine.
And doctors add they understand concerns about receiving 2 vaccines at once, but they assure families that it is safe.
And when we come back at 10, Blaze tells us about when we could see the rain return.
And stocks jump after the results of last night's presidential election. Some investors, though, are not so confident, why they're worrying about future inflation.
Welcome to Dwellings, Madison's best kept secret
for beautiful furniture,
sofas, chairs, and recliners, sectionals, and fun accessories. Shop our Fitchburg showroom today.
You wouldn't pour OJ this way, and you don't have to pour paint this way either. Try Dutch Boy Platinum Plus paint in the twist and pour container with a built-in spout. Easy to hold, open, and pour. Only at Menards. Dutch Boy paints make transforming your world easy.
Here's the secret worth sharing. Robertson, Wisconsin's aesthetic leader, has nurses that specialize in custom treatment plans. Always natural, never overfilled. Time to learn how aging is different at Robertson.
What if Juliet got a second chance at life after Romeo? And Juliet, the new hit Broadway musical and the most fun you'll have in a theater. I got the eye of the created by the Emmy-winning writer from Schitt's Creek and pop music's #1 hit maker. And Juliet is exactly what we need right now. Playing November 26th through December 1st at Overture Center. Tickets at overture.org.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
No matter what your dream is, Spectrum Business can connect you to it. That's life unlimited.
Insurance costs going up? Erie Insurance has great coverages, rates, and claim service. And your rates won't increase because of celebrity advertising campaigns or sports stadium sponsorships. Call Affordable Insurance Solutions for your auto, home, or business quote and see what Erie Insurance could do for you.
From our Dwellings family to yours, happy holidays.
There's a lot to love about life in the 608. Fundraisers, farmers markets, family events.
Tell Josh what inspires you, and it might be featured on News 3 Now this morning in the 608. Weekdays only on News 3 Now this morning. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
The Dow and the NASDAQ closed with record highs after the result of the presidential election sent stocks soaring.
But there are some questions about what impact the Trump administration's policies will have on inflation and also labor. Kelly O'Grady has more.
Stocks closed the day on a high note as Wall Street reacted to a White House win for Donald Trump.
This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have.
The market heading into this was pricing in a Trump victory, and we're seeing that follow through today.
Trader Jonathan Corpina says investors believe the Trump administration's pro-business policies will boost an economy that was already heading in the right direction.
This is now going to translate into his administration to kind of pick up from where we left off and continue to keep that momentum going.
The president-elect promises low taxes and deregulation for everything from the banking industry to cryptocurrency. But he's also announced plans to implement tariffs on imported goods, and many economists say that will lead to higher prices.
There is some sense among bond investors that that will lead to higher interest rates.
But CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says many businesses have a wait-and-see attitude about the president-elect's policies, including his promise to deport millions of illegal workers.
I guess the question is, what will the actual policies be? How might immigration shift in the labor market?
On Thursday, the Federal Reserve is expected to once again cut interest rates. Many investors believe that those rate cuts could slow if the next administration's policies lead to higher inflation. Kelly O'Grady, CBS News, Washington.
Babcock Dairy is recalling 41 cases of orange custard chocolate chip after it was mislabeled as chocolate peanut butter ice cream. The company says people who are allergic to eggs run the risk of a serious or life-threatening reaction if they eat either product. These pints were produced on September 17th. Babcock Dairy is asking customers who bought the affected products check the production date at the bottom of the container, and if it's from the affected lot, you can return the ice cream where you bought it and receive a full refund.
NVIDIA is now the world's most valuable company. The artificial intelligence software company surpassed Apple. It now has a $3.43 trillion market capitalization. NVIDIA shares have nearly tripled so far in 2024. The company saw explosive growth last year when it emerged as the primary source of computer graphics processing units that use AI to power operations. The Mega Millions jackpot is now $303 million after no winners were announced. The winning numbers are 2, 24, 25, 52, 58, and 9. If a lucky person does have that winning ticket, there's a cash option of $141 million. The next Mega Millions drawing will come on Friday night.
Well, hard to believe, but the holidays are right around the corner, and experts say now is the time to start thinking about budgeting. According to the National Retail Federation, holiday spending this year is expected to hit an all-time high, with shoppers spending an average of $902 per person. About $641 are going toward gifts and the rest towards food, cards, and decor. And there's some good news for shoppers this year.
We do know that in many ways inflation has gotten better than it was last year, particularly when it comes to goods, which is great news for consumers.
Financial experts recommend shoppers make a list of how much they want to spend, shop early, talk to your family about expectations, and sign up for price drop alerts.
Susan, I'll have my list to you by tomorrow.
Okay.
Sunshine returns to the region in the coming days.
But the rain won't stay away for long. Blaze Keller has the details in our First Warn forecast. Blaze?
That's right. We are tracking rain not only this weekend, but also into the middle of next week. Holding off till after Veterans Day, we're looking at maybe next Wednesday into Thursday being the more powerful of the two systems, bringing with it a little bit more moisture, as well as the chance for cooler temperatures, and behind that, a little chance for some snow. So let's quickly take a look at this Saturday into Sunday. Again, that's when we're expecting our first round to move on through. This is going to be light in nature, maybe 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch at best. You're seeing those totals here as we look ahead to about Monday morning. So this would account for any lingering activity, especially further north as we go into your Sunday late afternoon, early evening hours. But now let's walk ahead to that second round of showers as we go into the middle of your upcoming work week. We'll jump ahead to early Wednesday morning. That's most likely when the rain will start, and it will continue throughout the rest of your Wednesday, kind of building. It's overnight into early Thursday that we see kind of the two air masses coming together. You've got the warm, more moist air mass off to our east, and where we find the purples and these blues indicating a wintry mix and maybe some snow. That's that cooler, drier one. And we're changing that over a relatively small area, the Midwest. And so that's why we're also seeing our wind arrows kind of picking up in speed, because we have to do that rather quickly. So we're going to be dealing with breezy winds out ahead of this center and behind it as we move in that cooler, drier air mass. And as we move through I would say the mid to late morning hours on Thursday, possibly still dealing with some lingering light snow. For folks who've been waiting for snow, this is coming a little bit later than when we typically see our first snowflakes. But for folks who are not ready for snow quite yet, there is some good news. Watch as our temperatures, while we go from the 60s to the 40s into Thursday morning, we're still really lingering above freezing as we go into your Thursday afternoon. So after that snow kind of wraps up, any remaining snow on the ground is quickly going to melt, because not only is the air warmer than freezing, but the ground is also warmer than freezing as well. And over the next 8 to really 14 days, we see a couple more systems moving through in some of our longer range models, and they're kind of looking like what we could see this next Thursday, starting off as rain, and then on the backside of that, maybe we get some light snowflakes. There's a look at your forecast for your Thursday. Pretty seasonal, low to mid 50s with sunshine as we head further into your afternoon. We're looking at the mid to upper 30s to low 40s as the kids are heading off to school. So just maybe want to send them off with a light jacket, and by the time they're heading home, we'll head from the low 50s into those upper 40s. There's a look at your 10-day forecast. We are looking to stay dry for now into Veterans Day. And then, as we've been talking about, that system that does bring us maybe some light snow arrives Wednesday and continues into next Thursday.
And coming up in sports, Wisconsin men's hockey back in the win column. Why Mike Hastings compared his pep talks to the Badgers and Bigfoot sightings. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Score the lowest prices of the year right now at Brothers Main's Black Friday sale. You won't find lower prices anywhere, and enjoy our free delivery. Shop family-owned Brothers Main's low price guarantee on brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana. Feel like family. Brothers Main.
Shop the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. Lease a new Silverado 1500 starting at $355 a month, or a 24 Equinox EV starting at $279 a month. Stop in or shop and purchase at BergstromMadison.com.
I thought you two were going to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison this afternoon.
No, we couldn't decide what game to play.
That's the great thing about Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. There is a myriad of games with a myriad of themes, so you can find your perfect fit. Some machines offer free games, multiple spins, a bonus within a bonus, and multipliers. So many different ways to play means so many different ways to win. Find your perfect game at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
This is a hallway. Doesn't evoke much feeling. But to those facing cancer or a complex condition, it feels like relief. Because all the doctors, treatments, and technology you've been fighting to find, they're all right here, under one roof, connected by hallways instead of highways. Welcome to East Park Medical Center. UW Health. Remarkable.
Come on, guys, smile.
Guess who's home? Okay, everyone smile.
I've been a motorcyclist for a little over 20 years now. I always wanted to have a motorcycle my whole life, and dashing helps me support that hobby. I love the flexibility of dashing. I love the connections I make. Dashing lets me do what I want, when I want. I'm my own boss now. If dashers can maintain their freedom, flexibility, independence, and have access to benefits, that would really be the best of both worlds. Portable benefits would help me cover medical costs, dental, vision. That would be fantastic.
If you thought you heard a big sigh of relief on Saturday night, well, turns out you did, and it was for Mike Hastings and the Badger men's hockey team. Wisconsin closed their series in South Bend with a 2-1 win over Notre Dame, and more importantly, they snapped a 5-game losing streak. And after such a rough couple of weeks for his team, Coach Hastings is just happy that his guys can actually see the results of their hard work.
I haven't seen Bigfoot yet. I've heard a lot about him, but until I see him, I don't know if I'm going to believe in that, and our guys need to believe in seeing it. And they've been putting the work in and doing it, and the ball guys over here looking at him saying, stay with it, it'll work. Until it does come to happen, I think we needed that.
Wisconsin women's basketball tipped off their season last night in dominating fashion, beating Wright State by 27 points. And a big part of that win was, of course, Sarah Williams. The junior forward was a force in the paint. Williams scored a game-high 29 points and grabbed 12 boards for her 23rd double-double of her career. She also blocked 4 shots. Teammate Ronnie Porter added in 19 points and 3 assists. Up next for Wisconsin, Georgetown on Sunday. Well, the Iowa women opening up the Jan Jensen era of Hawkeye basketball, and Tegan Mullaney was balling in her Iowa debut. The former McFarland standout dropped 14 points in just 19 minutes to help Iowa beat Northern Illinois 91-73. Verona's Taylor Stremlo finished with 2 points, 5 assists, 3 blocks, and 2 steals in the win. Well, the NFL trade deadline came and passed yesterday, and the Packers were movers. Green Bay traded Preston Smith to Pittsburgh for a 7th-round draft pick after the pass rusher asked to be traded because, in his words, he didn't fit in Jeff Hafley's 4-3 system. Smith racked up 44 sacks during his time in Titletown. And don't forget to tune into this week's Wisconsin Huddle with Badger Volleyball's Lola Schumacher. Show airs on Friday at 6:30 right here on News 3 Now. We're back after this.
Protect your family this holiday season. Get the updated COVID-19 vaccine and your flu shot at Hy-Vee. Schedule online today or just stop by. No appointment necessary. Plus, earn a 20-cent fuel saver when you get your flu shot. Only at Hy-Vee.
They've been rocking audiences for decades. It's Foghat. Performing live November 30th. At Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
I just want to make
with special guest, the Empty Pockets. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. Legendary rock band Foghat. Live in concert November 30th at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
Law firms claim to be experts at handling injury cases that involve large trucks. But handling one trucking case does not make you an expert on the subject. Experience matters in these cases. One local firm has handled 25 trucking cases which resulted in payments over $1 million each, and hundreds of others as well. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
Want a flatter,
tighter tummy? Then check out new Ab EX from Sono Bello.
After my pregnancies, my body just never bounced back. I had this stomach overhang that made me self-conscious.
Emotionally, it was really sad. Feeling good up here, but you look down and you don't.
After having my babies, it went a different direction. From here, it went to here, and I just couldn't get rid of that.
Introducing Ab EX from Sono Bello. Remove fat and lose excess skin permanently in just one visit.
I got the tummy tuck results without the tummy tuck downtime.
And I finally got the flat stomach I wanted.
I'm able to get back in my size 8 jeans. I feel sexy, I feel confident.
It feels good to feel good and look good. The mommy belly is gone.
Schedule your free, no obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-888-557-5298 or go to sonobello.com.
Protect your family this holiday season. Get the updated COVID-19 vaccine and your flu shot at Hy-Vee. Schedule online today or just stop by. No appointment necessary. Plus, earn a 20-cent fuel saver when you get your flu shot. Only at Hy-Vee.
The First Warn Weather Team takes you beyond the barometer. Only on News 3 Now.
All day yesterday, I was walking around proudly wearing my I voted sticker. Today, I wore my I am questioning my fundamental belief in the goodness of humanity sticker.
New tonight.
And Blaze is back. One final check of the forecast.
Yeah, more sunshine it looks like maybe for your Thursday. Regardless, we're going to see clearing skies throughout your Thursday, and we'll see the sunshine continue into your Friday as well. We're going to hang out in the 50s once again after starting out in those 30s, and we'll maybe wake up to some morning fog on Friday, but we do see some rain chances moving in for the weekend. Not an all-day washout heavy rain event, but I think maybe a quarter of an inch at best, especially overnight into Sunday. Drying out for Veterans Day before more rain moves in into the middle of next week.
All right, Blaze, thank you very much, folks. Thanks for joining us tonight for News 3 Now at 10.
Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.